1, whatever begins to exist has a cause. 2, the universe began to exist. 3, therefore, the universe has a cause.
Hello, this is William Lane Craig. 10 years ago, Jan and I founded Reasonable Faith. Although we'd been involved in a ministry of writing and university speaking for some 25 years, I felt that much of our ministry had been done in a corner. Although we were respected within the philosophical and theological communities, it seemed that we were not well known outside those circles. Moreover, I was troubled by the people that the media typically trotted out as spokesmen for the Christian worldview. Why can't we have an intelligent and articulate person who can speak out graciously yet uncompromisingly in defense of the Christian faith in the public square? And so we decided to found a web-based ministry called Reasonable Faith. And what God has done with this ministry over the last 10 years has amazed and gratified us. Every month, hundreds of thousands of people come to Reasonable Faith to read the articles that are posted there, both scholarly and popular. Moreover, you'll find there an open forum, a weekly column called Question of the Week, which now archives some 500 questions on topics of apologetic and theological significance. You'll find videos of debates, interviews, and talks that I've given on university campuses. In addition to that, we began to podcast material through the internet website. Kevin Harris and I do a conversational show called Reasonable Faith, and we began to podcast my weekly Sunday school class on Christian doctrine and apologetics called Defenders. This is now live streamed to hundreds of locations around the world and viewed every week by tens of thousands of people who want training in Christian doctrine and apologetics. One of the unexpected avenues of outreach has been YouTube. Sometime after founding Reasonable Faith, we found that people were posting pirated videos of my debates and lectures on YouTube, and that hundreds of thousands of people were watching these videos. Well, eventually one of these channels was given to Reasonable Faith, Dr. Craig Videos, which today draws in nearly 2 million viewers every year. In addition, we established a second YouTube channel, Reasonable Faith, which broadcasts our Defenders class in high definition video. Another pleasant surprise was social media. A few years ago, we started a Reasonable Faith Facebook page. It was very small at first, but within 3 to 4 years, it has grown to have now over 525,000 followers and is growing all the time. The impact of this material has been remarkable. Every week we receive testimonials from people, especially young men, who say that they have been either brought to faith from agnosticism or atheism, or brought back to faith in Christ after having left Christ during their high school or early college years. And so it's tremendously gratifying to see the way God is using this material to change lives. Meanwhile, I continue to speak and to write. Over the last 10 years, we have had some marvelous opportunities to speak and debate on university campuses. Highlights that stand out in my mind were especially the tours of British universities that we were able to conduct. Notably, the outreaches in London, Oxford, and Cambridge. In London, I participated in a debate with Lewis Wolpert in the magnificent Central Hall just across from Westminster Abbey. And the hall that evening was packed with people. John Humphreys, the BBC moderator of the debate, looked out at the sea of faces confronting him and he said, "Something remarkable is happening here." When I was at Oxford University, I participated in the famous empty chair debate at the Sheldonian Theatre. Richard Dawkins had been invited by several British organizations, including the British Humanist Association, to debate me in his hometown, but he resolutely refused. During the weeks leading up to the debate, buses in the city of Oxford were carrying banners on their sides stating, "There probably is no Dawkins. Now stop worrying and enjoy October 25th at the Sheldonian Theatre." We had a wonderful evening at the Sheldonian with a panel of 3 respondents when Dawkins did not come to take the empty chair that was set for him there. The objections raised by Richard Dawkins to these arguments are not even injurious, much less deadly. Finally, at Cambridge University, I had the tremendous privilege of debating in the Cambridge Union Debating Society. This was like debating in Parliament, with the benches rising on either side, students in the galleries around the second floor. And as I debated there on the topic, is belief in God a delusion? It was like being in Parliament or being in a court of law, striding back and forth in the well and trying to turn a very skeptical, and I would say even hostile audience to the side of belief in God. The students registered their vote of who had won the debate by exiting through either a doorway labeled I or a doorway labeled No. We then retired upstairs to the student bar to await the results. And after some time, in came a girl with a brass bell, ringing the bell and announcing the vote that the House, which was our side, had indeed won the debate that evening.
Ayes 243, noes 229, abstentions 129. The motion passes with 14 votes.
It was a tremendous victory and a magical evening in the defense of the faith. In addition to these speaking tours, we continue to publish in the area of Christian philosophy and theology. These books, to show you just a few, range all the way from top academic volumes like the Blackwell Companion to Natural Theology, published by Wiley Blackwell, one of the top academic publishers in the world, to books for children, like our series, What is God Like?, featuring the lovable cartoon characters Brown Bear and Red Goose, explaining Christian doctrine to little children. And the reaction of children and parents to this series has been so heartwarming. It has served to provoke really good conversations between parents and their children about what God is like and about belief in Him. 2 significant books that have appeared since Reasonable Faith was founded were On Guard and then the student edition of On Guard. On Guard is a sort of training manual for Christians to equip them in the defense of the faith with the best arguments that I can provide in defense of belief in God and belief in Jesus. And the student edition is geared especially toward non-believers. This is a book that you can hand to a non-believing friend or family member to challenge him with belief in Christ. Finally, my most recent book has just appeared as a result of 12 years of study on the subject of divine aseity. Oxford University Press has published my book, God Overall, which is on God's self-existence and the challenge to it posed by contemporary Platonism. As we now turn our focus to the next 10 years, we are excited to see what God is going to do in the areas of publishing and writing, in the areas of debating and speaking, and in the areas of the website and internet outreach through social media, YouTube, and the reasonablefaith.org website. Thank you for your support in following this ministry.